Humans navigate a public outer ring and a private middle ring, seeking refuge in the innermost core, the kinship and tribe zone. Focusing here, environments like a trusted family home function as our ultimate shield against external threats. Inside one such home, an extended family gathered for an afternoon visit. While the adults sat safely in the living room drinking tea and chatting, two 8-year-old cousins, Angela and Alice, began a game of hide-and-seek. The game started innocently enough. Alice closed her eyes and began counting to 30. Angela laughed, promised she wouldn't be found, and ran off into the countless rooms and dark wood hallways to secure the perfect hiding spot. A threat inside this specific tier of safety is uniquely terrifying. Because the environment feels secure, it acts as a psychological blinder. The victim's defenses are lowered, leaving them completely unprepared for a sudden breach. 30 minutes later, Alice gave up. The adults eventually realized Angela wasn't responding to their calls. A child's game rapidly escalated into a frantic sweep of the property. Every closet was opened, every bed checked, and the locked basement was searched. The police were called in. Tracking dogs swept the yard. Officers combed through nearby streets, neighboring properties, and abandoned buildings looking for any sign of her. They found zero physical evidence. There were no footprints, no discarded clothing, no sounds, and absolutely no signs of a struggle. This floor plan demonstrates a concept known as the vacuum anomaly. It occurs when a closed, highly secure system fails completely, and the subject simply vanishes without crossing any exterior boundaries or leaving a single trace of how the breach occurred. The true horror in Angela's disappearance is the lack of a visible monster. A child evaporated silently from the safest place on Earth, leaving her family with a permanent, impossible, unsolvable void. Stepping outward to the middle tier of our safety architecture, we examine the private residence. A teenager sat home alone with their younger siblings, trusting the locked doors. They were comfortably immersed in watching scary videos, believing the environment around them was entirely secure. The silence of the house broke when a faint, raspy whisper cut through the room. Soft and broken, a voice simply said, "Come here." Leaving their siblings behind, the teenager crept upstairs toward the kitchen to investigate. As they reached the final step, a loud, distinct sound of chewing echoed from the dark room. Illuminated by the harsh glare of the open refrigerator, stood an emaciated woman with matted gray hair, tearing into raw meat with her bare hands. She turned toward the doorway, revealing cold blue eyes and a chilling, blood-stained smile. The intruder was a mentally unstable transient. She hadn't picked a lock or broken a window. She had simply walked through a door that was left temporarily unlocked during a moment of distraction. This event shatters the sanctuary illusion. We rely on the false belief that our personal, locked spaces offer immunity from the unpredictable violence of the outside world. When a single deadbolt fails, that barrier collapses instantly. At the outermost, most vulnerable tier, we find public liminal spaces. Pulling into a desolate highway rest stop late at night, a driver is entirely stripped of personal protection. The driver stepped out of their car to find a strange man standing in a dark corner, staring. The man held a metal pipe to his mouth like a microphone, humming a strange, rhythmic tune. Seeking the safety of the brightly lit convenience store, the driver hurried inside, only to find the clerk missing. Instead, somewhere deep in the aisles, a second unseen person was humming softly, blending into perfect harmony with the man outside. A loud bang hit the glass as the man from outside entered the store and locked the door behind him. He set down his phone, activated a voice recorder app, and gripped his metal pipe, announcing, "Your screams will make our song complete. We needed another instrument." The driver bolted for the exit, sprinting to their car and tearing out of the parking lot. A dark truck roared onto the pitch-black highway behind them in aggressive pursuit. As they sped down the road, the predator leaned his head out of the driver's side window, releasing an impossibly high-pitched scream into the night. Public liminal spaces offer no structural safety. As completely neutral zones, they can be co-opted in an instant, transforming from a simple rest stop into an active hunting ground. The physical danger of a breached space eventually passes, but the victims across all three East tiers are left with a much longer struggle for psychological survival. Angela's mother still bakes a birthday cake every year for a daughter who vanished. The teenager closes their eyes and continues to see a bloody smile illuminated by a refrigerator light. The driver wakes up nightly, fighting the urge to scream, hearing a rhythmic hum that refuses to stop playing in their head. Psychologists identify this outcome as the enduring haunt. The mind continuously replays the trauma because it has entirely lost the ability to trust any environment to keep it secure. The destruction of everyday safety moves the threat from the physical world permanently into the mind. Once you realize the spaces you trust the most offer no real protection, true horror requires no supernatural explanation.